everybody. My name is Josef Mieto, and the song's called Hey Salvation. Stood as still as a dove, when the crows walk by. Painted angels singing, on concrete walls. The crack beneath your teeth was memorable to me. The way you hesitate, and then move along. Hey, salvation. Hey, salvation. Can you say, hey, oh, hey, hey, salvation? Oh, you know, I just cannot belong. You like it slow, the natural game. Go on, salvation. In your natural way. For human now, let the blood roll. It's where we both belong. With our solemn life. Hey, salvation. Hey, salvation. Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, salvation. Oh, you know, yeah, you know, my heart's like a stone. Hey, salvation. Hey, salvation. Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, salvation. Oh, yeah, you know. Can I trust in your love? Can I trust in your love? Can I trust in your love? Thank you. Back in '91, you were carving out my name. Never thought I'd find the room you're in. I can find a place to call our own. Keep your heart wide open. You got the hands to keep you close, and you and I can try to pull the endless string. When your eyes say loneliness, my lips are talking about the way. Hey, seen you walk down my rubble road. You're looking for the one that'll keep you satisfied. The organ grinds, the feathers fly. When you're halfway through the serenade, that's the sweetest place to say goodbye. And leave those hollow words unspoken, and leave the path that's dead behind. Oh, how these roses go suddenly. Yesterday, 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 your beauty blessed my pain. Oh, and back in '92, we've been good to you, amen. That was a different kind of life. Oh, I've lived so many days with self-inflicted wounds. Wish those stripes would heal for once. They think the stars have fallen from the moon. When we walk down that old rugged road, eyes to the sky as well, we sing that ancient tune. We'll dance till morning comes, and we'll sing right through the night. When we're halfway through the serenade, that's the sweetest place to say goodbye. Leave those hollow words unspoken. You can leave the path that's dead behind. Oh, houses, roses go suddenly. Yesterday, yesterday now. Yesterday, your beauty blessed my pain.
What were the two songs that you did again?
I played two originals. One was, the first one was called The Carpenter's Wife, which is from my very, I guess my second album, but my first like full-on studio album, like professionally recorded. The album was called Bad Eyes. It was recorded at Tone King Records in Cardinal, Ontario. And the second one I played was Hey Salvation from my Down Low album, which was a really cool song, which I wrote in Nicaragua in like 2012, 2013.
That was the one with the harmonica.
That's the one with the harmonica, yeah.
in the original versions of those songs, is there other instruments, or did you just record? It was just a guitar and
on the album versions. Yeah, the carpenter's wife had I think bass guitar, and then there's like layers of harmony vocals in there as well. Pretty simple. That whole first album, the Bad Eyes album, was pretty simple. I think we recorded in like 1 or 2 days. And then Hey Salvation was originally played on a nylon, like a flamenco guitar. I bought a flamenco guitar in Nicaragua, like off an actual guitar maker. Because I wanted to be writing songs while I was there, but I didn't want to like also fly down there with a guitar. So bought a really cool handmade flamenco guitar off a person there, and kind of carried that around with me. So the song originated on a flamenco guitar, and when I got into recording it at I recorded that album at my own studio, but I tried it on steel string, and I tried it on a couple like electric, couple other things, but I was just like, no, I'm going to just use that original sort of like $50 flamenco guitar to play it with, because that was the sound that it came from originally, you know. So
nice.
yeah.
So you flew it home and then recorded the song.
Yeah, after we got back, I think I did that album maybe, I don't know, 6 months later or something like that.
Is that album still available anywhere? If people want to hear the actual song?
Yeah, it's on my Bandcamp. I think it might be on Spotify. I don't know. I have to check my auto renewal, but
Sure.
Bandcamp for sure. The music of Josef Mieto.bandcamp.com. It's there. Might be on YouTube as well. Hey Salvation.
Oh yeah.
I picked that one mostly because I wanted a song where I could try and like really open my voice up with. It's a pretty quiet, like slow song, like sort of somber and sad in a certain way. But there's one line where it just kind of goes from 0 to 100, and I feel like I always just feel really good like letting that line rip, sort of thing. So I just wanted to really sing something, like really sing something for my first, performance back after such a long time.
Yeah. And that room also like gives you the ability to like kind of, it opens up the space, and you can kind of hear yourself a lot differently than if you're just at home with your headphones on, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
During the concert series, we've got so many other cool people that we've been showcasing, but I mean, even the opening song, you and I did some work, and that's what we created, was the beginning of this episode.
Exactly. I want to talk about that a little bit. That was so much fun. And that's why, isn't that why we just do what we do, Yeah. It was just kind of those like in the spur of the moment sort of situations. Hey, let's just work on something. Let's make it happen. And, you took it to the finish line, but what we were able to do in just a matter of a few hours, it's just like so inspiring, because it's like, holy crap, if we were able to put our heads together and just come up with something funky and cool like that in a few hours, like what if we really did something, like what if we really put our heads together, like really came up with some cool concepts.
Yeah.
It's super inspiring. That's why I love this. That's why I love working with other creative people. Totally. The energy rubs off, and it makes every day interesting and fun, and we should all be doing more of that, collaborations.
Is there any, you've got family spread across the country, and people that'll probably see this. Is there anyone that you want to thank that had anything to do with the upcoming of Josef Mieto and his the albums that you worked on in the past, or any buddies?
My God, yeah. I've worked with a lot of people. My music, my path in music, definitely started with my mom. My mom's professional level piano player and vocalist. So I was around music from the day I was born, like always music in the house, always something being played on the piano, something being sang. So I have to credit my mom for that from an early age. But man, there's so many people to thank. I just have to thank all of the artists that I've met along the way, people that have been an inspiration to me, People who are passionate about like spreading positivity through art, you know. Art is like, let me rephrase that. I don't want to say like. Art is a extremely effective means of expression for the creator, even if that expression has like a lower vibration. I shouldn't say lower vibration, but like a sadder or like a melancholy vibration. It's so effective in healing the creator by letting that negativity out. But once it's out, it's like a seed that gets planted in so many different types of soil. Some might be fertile soil, some might not be so fertile, but like where that seed gets planted, it's in the ears and like eyes of and brains of the general public. So what grows there is of none of the artist's concern. But what I think artists can confidently predict is that art and music have so much potential to like heal and impact others in such a positive way. So when you meet other people who recognize the power of art and music, that's just so inspiring. And that's who I want to thank, all the people that I met along the way that have inspired me through what they do and appreciate the power of the whole thing. It's just fantastic.
We're Tea with Mara, and you do the second part.
And this is the city.
Okay. Oh, the city's getting to me. Oh, the city's getting to me. 'Cause my head feels like the traffic, like I'm stuck in all these habits. And the stop signs are all mine, but I'm blasting right through them. Nothing pours like the rain out of my window, and all the things that made me happy, they just don't anymore. These concrete streets don't feel me leaving. I'm a ghost on the road, and all the things I used to dream, and I don't sleep anymore. It all feels so empty where I'm going. I've been searching for this thing I can't find, and everywhere I look it's not there. It all feels so empty where I'm going. Nothing but
Who writes the lyrics to the Tea with Mara songs?
It's me. Yeah.
I would say she's the writer and the poet, and I'd be more the rhythm and the melody person. So I think that's what made the combo pretty interesting. Was
yeah. Well, because when we met, like Darren's quite an accomplished musician and an amazing musician as well. So thank you. And I come from, I didn't do any music when I was like younger or anything like that, but I mean like I didn't do any like vocal training or pursued it at all, but I've been writing since as soon as I could get a pen to paper. I was writing poetry, like, I mean, like even when I was like very, very young, writing poetry, always singing songs and stuff like that. And I had a kind of a bit of an insecurity around it, so I just never really pursued it, but I always desired it. I always wanted it. I always felt this like call to it. And then when I met Darren, he just like put me on a microphone and he was like, let's go. And then it was like, you know, and we have a thing where like, you know, he can just start a little bit on the guitar, and then it's like finding something that already exists, you know, like he's playing and I'm like, oh, where is it? Like, where's the song? Like, where are the lyrics here? And then it just goes, right? And that's always been the way that we write. And we both know when we've hit the right thing. We both know when we found it. And then it's just a little bit of tweaking here and there, but we know where it is, right? Once we've got there.
So you guys recognize that creative chemistry early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the songwriting process like from beginning to end then? Does the melody come first? Do the lyrics come first? How do you guys come together? What does that look like? When do you create a melody, Darren, and then you're like, hey, check this out. Do you have any lyrics that might go with this, or is it the other way around?
So for The Storm, which was the second song that we did, it started with me just doing that little intro on the guitar, sitting there by myself, and it's, oh, that sounds nice. We like that. What is that? And that was the melody and the guitar, and then as soon as we had that, we started with the words. And with that song,
you were just wandering around humming. I remember you kind of had it, and then it like popped in my head. I'm like, wait, you know, like that's good.
Yeah.
And then we were able to find that.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, with the lyrics of that song too, I mean, if you listen back to it, and we'll also have it up available soon in other places, but the Storm, you know, to us is about what everybody goes through, I believe, with having a relationship. There's like the highs and the lows of there's the arguments, there's the beauty, there's the calm, there's so many different things that we all go through with our partners. So that in my mind, the storm, the hurricane is like kind of a classic thing that people refer to, the calm before the storm, and then the storm hits, and then you're in the eye of the storm where it's calm, everything's okay, and then the aftermath, and then, you know, the destruction that it left behind. And, you know, that's where I think the lyrics were really magical, and the pace of the song was quite nice too, because it, you felt it. There's intensity and there's low and all that stuff. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you explained that really well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And then also, like, you know, wondering, like, if we're going to make it through this, you know, like, there's always the moments with your partner, too. You're like, is this too much storm? You know? Am I not supposed to live here?
Yes.
So, like, it's just super real. It's just very much what's been going on.
Yeah, and being in close quarters with people, that's what a lot of people have been experiencing, is being in close quarters with their partner during, you know, this whole thing. And like, I think that's where that song kind of came from. Yeah.
So The Storm was one of the songs you played.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, I think we went off in the
I just started talking.
No, that's totally cool. What was the other song that you performed?
Yeah.
The City.
Yeah, which also has some like really significant meaning if you want to get into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about the meaning behind that one.
Yeah, that song, that very first part of the song where I'm like, the city's getting to me, that was like written, I still remember like the intersection in downtown Vancouver when we lived in Vancouver, and I hated living in Vancouver, and just not like knowing what to do or like where to go, and so I had it like, what happens with me with lyrics and like poems and stuff like that is that until things are down, like until it's like on the page or it's in a song or something like that, it's in my head, and it's in my head just a little bit of it for years sometimes, right? And this one was in my head for years, and the rest of it was written when we got to Victoria for the first time, and we thought we had everything. I thought I had everything I wanted. We had this like beautiful apartment with this like clawfoot tub, which for me was like a big deal. and I had a job in news that I was like, this is it. This is okay. This is what I've been working for like years. This is where I want to go. And then I still got depressed, even though all that stuff was there. And it was so frustrating to me that it could be like, okay, like, but I worked, I did the stuff, I work out, I go to therapy, I do this, I do that, and like, how am I still sad in my life? Like, it's hard. This is hard. And so that's how that was written.
Yeah.
Is in, and it was written too before some really significant things happened in our lives that changed everything, and that started the company. And
that was the first music video we shot in Victoria.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it very much describes a moment that was very real before a very big crash, and then life changed very much.
So were you writing the lyrics at this low point, or did you find the song, like, is there lyrics in the song where you find sort of like an answer and a conclusion to this sort of dilemma that you were facing with, you know, seemingly having everything that you'd asked for, could want, and still feeling unfulfilled? Like, were you able to find answers during the songwriting process, or was it still like kind of left open at the end?
I was very much just a capsule of that one moment. There's no conclusion to that at all, which is also something I really like in storytelling of any sort, actually, be it songwriting or poetry or stories or something, is I like when things aren't concluded and nothing's, tied up nicely in a bow. It's like, actually, I'm sad. That's all. That's it.
Yeah, I think the conclusion of that process was actually making the video, because the song was written like a year and a half ago, or a year before we actually did the video for it. So
right.
the positivity was making the video for the song, but the song was done before.
That's right. Yeah. So not in the actual lyrics, but in the process of how that song came out, because we split up for a while, and then finally when we got back together, that's what we made, and that's how the company started, is when we got back together as well. Yeah.
What does music mean to you guys?
For me, it's been a pursuit. Ever since I was a kid, I always pursued the songwriting process, and it was, for me, a safe kind of place that I would go, and it could just be me, and just kind of like, if I'm upset or whatever it is, I just have this like thing that I do that nobody else does, that just nobody can take away from me. So it's always just kind of been there in a way that has been comforting. And I really like I'm very particular. I don't put out a ton of stuff. I really wait until I'm like in love with the song that I do, and then I'll pursue it. So it's always a really exciting time when I get to a place that I'm like, I'm going to make this song and I'm going to take it to the finish line. Because there's so many that don't take me there, and there's so many that I don't put out just for the sake of putting out. So I'm very, when I get on that, roller coaster and it's going up, I'm very excited about that process. Yeah.
So you get a thrill out of the songwriting process, kind of like a challenge for you.
Oh yeah. Even the hard bits are great, So for me, it's just exciting to do it. Yeah.
And how do you feel when a song is done? And how do you know when you love a piece that you've written?
I
When
think
you'll listen to it 1,000
right.
times, he'll listen to it. That's it. And we both will. We both have this habit. We'll listen to it 1,000 times. We'll listen to it all day and all night. We're like, yeah, that's it.
that's
like,
totally true. Yeah. If you record it, how many times you actually listen to it when you're recording the thing? But if you listen to it 1,000 times after you've recorded it, you know that you nailed it.
Yeah, you'll walk down the street and put it on your headphones and just listen to it on repeat like a total loser.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I think for me, I just feel like it's such a magical practice, and it's like, to dream of a line and then have to find a way to speak it, to like to be driving down the road and just have like an inspiration about something, and then you have to write it and you have to get it down, and it bugs you until you do. Like, to me, that's a practice of something much bigger than yourself or whatever is in you, right? Like, I heard, I can't remember who said it, but it was a poet who said that when she was struck by inspiration out in the field, it was like lightning, and then she had to run to the house to get it down before it disappeared. And I just, the sense of that to me, and the way that we hear musicians talk about inspiration in so many ways that are like different, but they're very similar. Like that you are drinking from a river, that exists outside of you, but you get to tap into sometimes. And that is just what a way to experience life at all.
And I've heard a lot of different people use that exact same analogy. It's like grabbing something out of
it's coming to you,
the ether.
Yeah. You're the pen.
Yeah. It's not like it's not mine. You're just kind of grabbing it, using it, and then giving it away.
And you can feel that, right? Because you can feel when you got it. You're like, yes, oh, okay, yeah, that was it. I couldn't get it. It was there, you can feel it click, right?
But you also feel almost grateful that it came to you.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what that explains that sense of urgency in a way, is that you feel so grateful you feel so grateful that idea came to you and no one else, and you don't want to let it slip away, because I don't know, I feel like if an idea is out there, it's out there for a period of time, and if you don't use it, if you don't allow yourself to be the conduit for that, it will go to someone else. I never thought about that, actually. I really like that. In my experience, and I'm not making this up, I've had lyrics or ideas come to me in dreams or daydreams where I haven't followed through with that sense of urgency and gone and put it in my notebook or gone and made something with it. And no word of a lie, a year or two later, I'll see that exact same lyric or something very close to that concept on somebody else's album or in somebody else's poetry, somebody else's book. I totally believe those ideas are out there floating around in the ether or in the heavens, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
And you do get chosen as a conduit for that idea. It's like a blessing. So your artists are almost have a responsibility to make themselves available to that energy.
I love that so much.
The fact that you recognize that is unbelievable.
We are Tea with Morrow.
And this is The Storm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My heart's on fire, but I still feel cold. Hold me, darling, don't let me go. Wondered if we'll make it through this storm. It's been so long since I felt warm. Can't go on like this no more. Never seem to walk out that door. This ain't me. It's a side of myself that I don't like to see.
finally leaves, the weight gets lifted now and I can breathe.
And now I know that I'm stuck in my ways, and I get so tired I could sleep for days. I loved you now like I loved you then. If only I could get out of my head. Oh, this ain't me. It's the side of myself that I don't like to see. When it finally leaves, the weight gets lifted now and I can breathe. It's not the flame, not the burn, not the fire that'll get you in the end. It's the smoke that you breathe. I can't get no reprieve. Let me out. Back and forth, all the words that you said, they don't mean a goddamn thing. I'm burning up, you freeze me out. I've been wandering around this house now here for days.
Oh, this ain't me. It's the side of myself that I don't like to see. When it finally leaves, the weight gets lifted now and I can breathe. Wonder if we'll make it through this storm. It's been so long since I felt warm.
What can people expect when they come to Barnhouse Sound and work on their creative projects here?
Well, most of our clients come here for multiple days. Since it is a destination studio, we offer accommodations as well. And the studio is on a 10-acre property, so we have lots of walking paths and ponds, and instead of just being a recording experience, it's also a great experience to be together with your bandmates and to get away from the city and not just see it as another work project, but as an experience and a creative experience together. And a lot of people spend time writing here as well. I've had quite a few clients come here to work on one record and found themselves writing the next record at night. So it's a really nice place where you don't feel yourself having to rush out of the studio to find food or anything, having big group meals together and getting that whole experience in one place together as opposed to having to leave and go home at night. So we can also link in other people too, which has been really great during COVID, where if everybody can't make it out, we have a great system where you can actually patch in via Zoom or any other Skype, and you can actually listen in real time to what we got going on in the studio. So even for other producers and engineers that want to use the space with local musicians, it's been really great in the last couple of years to be able to offer that service as well.
For anybody who wants to get in touch, get a quote on rates, more information, how can they get in touch with you?
You can check out our website at barnhousesoundproductions.com. We got pictures there, and I'd love it if you checked out our Spotify playlist as well that has all the artists that we've worked on in the last couple of years. A couple of Surkeus artists in there as well. And there's a contact page on there too. You can reach out to us, and we'd love to hear from you and hear what you're working on, and whether it's music or anything related to music or anything that we could find an excuse to collaborate and be creative together.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for letting us film in your beautiful studio,
It was
Justin.
great
I
having
appreciate
you.
it.
It was great having you guys.
Thank you. We're just really trying to bring these musicians and these artists together as a force for good, to bring love and light into this world, create change, bring positivity into everybody's lives. This world can feel like very dark and heavy at times, and I just feel like Surkeus really has a lot of potential to help.
I think it's amazing what they're doing. Like every month he is reaching out to a new organization that's local and doing a very similar thing, creating custom merch just for that organization and raising proceeds for these local, places that, some people might not even heard of and that really do need the funding and the money.
It's felt really awesome. Community is so huge to me, being part of the queer community and the drag scene. So anybody who is very community minded is often someone I want to work with.
It's really important, yeah. When you're creating music, you want it to resonate, and you want it to be a force of good. And Josef's really allowed it to be that, and allowed it to contribute in ways that is beyond just trying to get Spotify streams and kind of surface stuff.
There's just so much amazingness. Like, we're just connected to so many different amazing artists, causes, and just group. I just love it. It's wonderful.
My opinion on the traditional record label is that it's really an antiquated idea. I mean, artists in this day and age don't need a record label. You can pay for your own distribution. Digital streaming services allow you to get your music out into the world. We don't really manage artists in the traditional sense. We offer radio distribution, again, access to physical albums, tapes, CDs, radio distribution, that kind of thing. But really, at the end of the day, what I tell artists when they're considering coming into the community or onto the label is I basically just say, we're going to try to help get your music into the ears of new listeners, and we hope that your creative community will grow just by being a part of ours.
The first time we've actually been, working with people beyond just our group. Like we've had other musicians working with us, but to have people that are supporting your music from behind you is just like a whole other thing. And supporting your mental health, I think that's just huge. So, yeah.
The thing I find about Victoria is everyone kind of stays within their pockets, and that's something that I personally have not wanted to do. I like the idea of kind of being part of all the different little things. I don't know why.
It seems like
cool
an
stuff.
eclectic bunch.
Yeah.
And different genres of music.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very important.
And I mean, the Hex can always use more drinking buddies, so that's important.
I love the idea that it's just all community-based and lifting each other up. And I've already met a lot of players in Victoria who I had heard of, but I'd never gotten to know, which is kind of crazy being from here. Yeah.
What part of a small town, the so-called side of the tracks or the other side?
It takes a community.
It takes a community.
It takes a community.
It takes a community.
By the way, it takes a community.
Awesome. It takes a community.
It takes a community.
And honestly, it takes a community.
It takes a community. That was really bad. Okay, whatever.